animal pushed belongs to Carrick and the navigation point. That wood now, Knockatonnel wood, is fairly new.
Yeah.
And here's the deer park here that they don't think existed at all.
No, nobody knows of it anyway.
Yeah. O'Donovan had it down on his map, that's where I got the information. And the old mine, Killala Road.
Yeah. Now there's a little deer in the wood.
Well, that's where we're now. This is the road into Ballina, the French road, and the present day road coming up to meet the Killala, Ballina
Right.
Road.
Right.
Well, that's the round little circle there near the deer park where the lake was you're talking about.
Yes, that's an artificial pond.
Yeah, we're back here now where Carrick meets Knockatonnel, the boundary river
Yes.
here.
And Bela Valley.
And Billerade, right. That's the old mine Killala Road. And Knockatonnel in there on the left.
Yeah.
Knockatonnel. O'Donovan of 1838 has it down as Knockatonnel. Griffith of 1856 has it down as Knockatonnel. And today's Ireland survey map has it down as Knockatonnel. They are all corruptions of the Irish words Knockatonnel, the hill of the assembly. In 1838 it contained 150.5 acres of land. It belonged to Colonel Knox Gore of Beleek Abbey, up in this direction behind me. The only person that lived in this townland in 1838 was a herd. In 1856, according to the Griffith valuations, the townland had the same area. The immediate lesser and townland occupier was Colonel Arthur Knox Gore. He paid £75 in rent for the land. It had a deer park way over there. Today it has over 151 acres of land. Now behind you there, Jimmy, is Knockatonnel, and you were telling us that it was worthwhile. We think it was once belonged to Ballysakeary, and there was a land division here around the when was it?
About the 20s,
Yeah.
sometime in the 20s. It used to be the Congested Districts Board that took up the land from, they were taking the land from Saunders Knox Gore in Beleek.
Yeah.
And Knox Gore tried to give them Ballahadalla in place of it, but the board wouldn't take it as the land wasn't good enough. They brought in families here, and then they went on, the Land Commission took up Ballahadalla sometime in the 30s, and they divided it among the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gore was trying to hold on to his land for a couple of more years,
He
was
was
it?
trying to hold on to the good land and
Give them the bad land.
give them bad land.
Yeah, but he didn't succeed.
No,
There's also some kind of a dispute about this in the parish of Ballysakeary. It should be in the parish of Ballysakeary.
it's in the civil parish, the old civil parish and the Church of Ireland parish.
Yeah.
But in the Catholic parish, it's in Ballina or
Ballina.
Kilmore-Moy.
Yeah. Now, James, you were telling us there about Knockatonnel down there that doesn't belong to the parish of Cooneil at all, or Ballysakeary, that belongs to Ballina parish. How did that happen, or how did it come about?
It came about when the field called Knockatonnel was taken over from the landlord and divided by the Land Commission, who put 5 small holders living into it. Then the 2 churches, the parish of Cooneil and the parish of Ballina, both wanted to have it included in their parish. Up to then, it was a no parish.
Yeah.
Nobody bothered about it because there was nobody living there. The people living in it opted for Ballina, and they were put in to the Ballina parish, and they're in it since.
Yeah.
That's how Knockatonnel became.
Part of the Ballina parish.
And that'd be 25 or 30 years.
Oh, it's 40 years ago.
Yeah. In the 1920s it happened, was it?
No, for the back.
Was it?
It was for the back. It would be,
Well, hold on now. You see, yeah.
and 2 or 3 different they took over at 2 or 3 different times. Do you see? And there was a good big spell of years in between the different taking over. This where I'm living here was one. This was taken over from the Land Commission. From Congested
landlord,
District Board, it was then. The
Right.
British government was here
Right.
at that time.
Right.
Yes.
You see,
Yes,
that's
yes.
further back.
Ah, yes. yes.
But it was the Irish government
That'd be 19, yeah.
When would it be? The 1920s?
for the, that way it would be further back than that. Geez, it would have to be the landlord. It was how he handed this Knockatonnel thing over
Ah, yeah.
to the, it used to be grazing wild.
Yes.
He handed it over
Yes.
to
But
the
you see,
state.
you didn't have.
Now, James, down here you think the lake was,
Right in there,
where the bushes are.
right in there.
And the Knoxes used to use it for skating, didn't they?
For skating.
Yeah. Tell us about how they put the sandy bottom there.
The sand was transported from Lacken Strand by donkey and horse cart,
Yeah.
paying a small figure for each load. Local people was paid for bringing it until such time as they put a bed into this space where
Yeah.
the water was, so that they could recognise the bottom.
Yeah. Was it deep, do you think?
In the centre, it would be about 4 feet.
Ah, it was. Dead on.
Wasn't
It was
What?
safe enough.
Eh?
It was safe enough for skating, didn't
quite
it?
safe.
Quite safe.
Yeah. The ice did often break, but there was nobody ever lost in it
No. So the Knox goers used to come down here, you were telling us, by moonlight.
by moonlight and have a skating picnic
In the winter time.
in the winter time.
Yeah.
In a skating picnic.
Yeah.
A big do.
Whiskey and liquor.
Whiskey, plenty of the best of everything.
Yeah.
And they were very considerate and very decent, and then, honestly, they were grand people.
They were grand people.
They were.
Yeah, yeah. Did you know the Colonel himself?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I knew the old colonel and I knew the young colonel.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
have letters belonging to both of them in the house.
Oh, is that so? Yeah. So you were saying that now one of them was fairly handy at the skates, wasn't he?
Yes, he was an expert. He could cut out his own initials on the ice or any other initials that
You wanted.
was wanted
Yeah, as you were skating along.
as he was skating along.
Now, whose land is this here now?
The forestry.
Oh, yeah. So that's why all the trees are here.
They took Gilbert Hill. The Gilbert Hill was planted by the landlord, you see.
Yeah.
The forestry people and the land commission, when they took over the estate, the forestry people took over Gilbert Hill
Yeah.
and cut and sold the timber that was on it and replanted it. And that's there. That's the third generation.
Of
I've
trees.
seen 2 generations being cut down,
Yeah.
and there's the third.
Yeah, yeah. And that also dried up the lake, I suppose.
Yes, it dried it up.
Yeah, the roots of the trees.
Dried it up. Yes,
Yeah, you were telling us about this road here and this door.
The Donnelly family.
Yeah.
You see, that's where they were born. And Miss Gore, she used to come from Killala, riding her horse,
Yeah.
side saddle in the day. And she used to stable him at Donnelly's, and she used to walk along the pathway out to the banks of the Moy to visit her brother's grave,
Yeah.
Sir Arthur Gore.
Yeah. Down here.
Yes.
Yeah. She lived in the big house
She
there,
lived
goes
where
at Killala.
McManaman lived.
Yeah. Oh, McManaways.
Yes, where he lived.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who's
Yeah,
there now.
yeah, yeah.
There's horsey people in there, I think.
There's no one in it now.
Maybe no one. Well, that's where she lived.
Yeah.
When the family broke up, she got money, whatever it was, or another sister, she got married. There was 2 sisters of them here, and Arthur. Arthur died. The other sister got married to a general in the British Army, General Saunders. The other girl was left in, and she went to live to Killala. She was only known as Miss Gore.
Got in then.
Saunders Knox Gore.
Right.
The Knoxes was on one side of the mother,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
and Saunders, an Englishman, an English
Yeah.
general in the
Yeah.
army,
Yeah.
and he skated there.
Did he?
He did.
You were telling us that some vandals broke the gravestone.
The
down.
gravestone is broken down. It's broken into by supposed to be. No, supposed to be done by vandals.
Yeah.
Yes. And the dog's grave too is there beside it.
The dog's his favourite dog, Fizzy, a little headstone on him, and it stands alongside his master's grave.
What was he, a wolfhound or a...
No, he was some sort of a small spaniel. I
Oh,
never
yeah,
seen him. Small thing.
yeah. You were telling me there that that was a limestone quarry.
A limestone quarry, the estate Limekill was there, and the estate burned the lime there
Yeah,
that was used for as master for the repairing of the walls and the buildings throughout the estate.
yeah, oh, yeah.
And this is where all the lime was burned, at Gilbert Hill,
Yeah.
close to Donnelly's old residence.
Oh yeah, this is Gilbert Hill here
This
now.
is you're still Gilbert Hill here. you see.
Ah, yeah.
And this, where we are now, is actually part of
Right
the
round.
other town, Rathrugian.
It is. That's
Rathrugian,
Rathrugian there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Rathrugian there. And of course, I suppose, well, I don't know.
Beyond the wall there is
Beyond
Knockatonnel.
is Gilbert Hill, Knockatonnel.
Yeah, yeah. That's the end of the townland here, Knockatonnel.
Into the townland. This big stone wall carries on from the old mine road out to the River Moy,
Yeah.
dividing Knockatonnel, upper end Gilbert Hill, from
Unbelievable.
the rest of the estate.
You tell me that this wall here was built at a penny a day.
At a penny a day, supposed to be. These stone walls were a penny a day at the masons or men
Yeah.
building was supposed to
Yeah,
have. The one
yeah,
here back and
yeah,
all this.
Well, so this wall has collapsed now, hasn't it? The land commission. or the
There's
forest.
a lot of it out there. They have knocked it down altogether
Yeah.
and made it look different to what it was, you
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
And they have made roads of it in there.
And down here was the Knockatonnel wood, wasn't it?
Knockatonnel, well, that's Knockatonnel Wood, but Gilbert Hill's the name of it, you see.
Ah, yeah.
It's the same thing with, the two is the same.
Yeah. Ah, they are, yeah.
The old mine road went straight on.
The old mine road went straight on. And at what date or time, I don't know. But the landlord decided, you see, that the people coming up the old mine road, he wouldn't let them through the estate. But to accommodate them, he made a new piece of road from the, what'll we call this bend? The Gilbert Hill bend, can you call it?
I suppose so, yeah.
Yes. He made a road from the Gilbert Hill bend that went out and connected with the main road between Bellonay and Killala.
Yeah.
The distance of the road was what, a mile?
That's this one here.
That's this one. That's how that road came to be there. It wasn't there, it was a field.
Oh, yeah.
High thing.
Yeah.
It would be antique now, wherever it is. I tried to get it from them when they were knocking the place down.
What colour was it?
It'd be black iron,
Ah.
a huge thing.
They
There
were
are several of them through the country,
That's right.
but they're antique.
Yeah.
And I tried to buy it from them, give them a couple of pounds or something, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't part with it, and I don't know where it went. But that iron gate was there when you came to here at night and away along here. And this was supposed to be a very lonesome spot.
Yeah.
And some people heard noises and some people seen something. But there was a man who applied for hire with a sidecar in Ballina.
The old records tell us here that there was only one head house down here. And you were telling me there that your father, what was his name?
My father was Edward, my grandfather was Pat, my great-grandfather was Michael. It would be my great-grandfather, very likely.
Oh, it wouldn't be your grandfather
Or
too?
my grandfather,
Yeah.
Pat, yes.
Yeah.
He was the only herd
He was the herd here for Colonel Arthur
for,
Knox Gore.
for the Goers.
For the Gores, yeah. In
That's
this
right.
townland.
Aye.
Yeah. They would be in charge of everything here, wouldn't they?
He herded and looked after, kept an eye on the game poachers. £4 a year he got.
Yeah, that was the pheasants and the birds.
Yes,
Did he look after the salmon in the down at the
he
mine?
did, but that came on. He was paid that from a different
Source.
A different source.
Yeah.
They used to night watch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we all go over and sit down there at night.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Uh,
yes.
10
What's it-
shillings a week he had for that during the salmon season.
Yeah.
Now, it was a man the name of Shannon that paid him this money. And a family the name of Littles
Oh yes, indeed.
owned the salmon,
The Moy fishery.
the Moy fishery.
Yeah. Was he armed at the time? Had he a musket?
Oh, yeah.
You never heard?
No.
You never heard?
No, there was no such thing.
No such thing.
There was no
The
air. There was no arms that time.
The landlord might have him armed at the time.
No, there was no such thing. The police didn't carry firearms.
Did they
that
not?
time. No.
No.
The old police used to patrol these roads any hour of the night.
Yeah.
In my own day, before I joined, I was a policeman myself.
Oh yeah.
Before I went away and joined the police, they used to
Yeah.
parade these roads at any hour of the night without firearms.
What regiment were you in?
Before the IRA started.
Were you in that, I say?
I was,
Ah.
and I was proud of every minute I ever spent in it.
Yeah.
Looked with pride on my time in it.
Yeah. And,
A man the name of Moore,
yeah.
he used to apply for hire with
Yeah.
a sidecar
Yeah.
that time. If a late train in 2 o'clock in the morning, and there might be a passenger on it that would want to go to research,
Yeah.
and he'd go down with them,
Yeah.
and he'd have to come back this way. He might be coming back this way at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Horse and track.
Horse and sidecar.
Sidecar. Yeah.
Now, this was a noted place. Willie O'Byle's Gate, this was known as, because there were O'Byles that lived there.
Yeah.
I didn't give you Willie O'Byle previously.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were an O'Byle family that lived there, and
Okay.
this was known as Willie O'Byle's Gate.
Yeah.
Well, there was things seen here. I don't know what they were. Black things like dogs and men
And bulls.
everything.
Yeah.
But this John Moore, there's relatives of his still living in Vilna. He was coming up here one summer's morning, this time of the year. It was just grey,
Yeah.
getting bright, with his sidecar. After leaving somebody in the place we were talking about, Greens's,
Yeah.
I think it was a servant belonging to Father Dolphin,
Yeah.
that came in on the train. And when he came here, a couple of yards further back than the car, the horse stopped.
Yeah.
And he forced it to go and couldn't go. But here, in front of the car, he seen a black figure on the side of the road, just here,
Yeah.
more. And he forced the horse, the horse wouldn't go. So he got off the car and came up to the figure. And it was a man, a fully sized man without a head. And he could see his trunk, the trunk
Yeah.
of the body,
Yeah.
sticking up above his clothing. And it seemed to be a fixture, healed, black,
yeah,
healed
yeah,
across,
yeah,
a fixture
yeah.
like an air, a man without a head. Here, now where we are,
Yeah.
that's that now.
And
That was
full
it.
sober at 3 o'clock in the morning.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, he would be indeed.
Well, no, he might have got a half on one
Well,
leg.
he might be. Well, I don't know. It might be anything. You see, but he might be drunk. But he was a man on his.
Doing his work.
He was doing his work.
Doing about his duty,
He wouldn't necessarily.
Now, my idea is that Farach Macaulay originally gave name to a large Irish Ballabitach, and that Mullach, Farag, Knockatonnel and others of the present townlands are subdivisions of it, and that Mullach Farag is the place referred to in the tripartite life of St. Patrick as the Synod House where the sons of Owley or Owley were wont to assemble their subjects. Now, Ballabitach. In his Irish Names of Places, P.W. Joyce writes that in ancient times an Irish chieftain usually established within his territory a sort of public hostelry over which he placed an officer called a beatach, or foodman. This beatach, or public victualler, held a tract of land rent-free on condition that he should supply food and lodgings without charge to the travellers and to the chief's soldiers whenever they happened to march in that direction. The land attached to one of these houses was called a Ballabitach, or Victualler's Town, and contained 480 large Irish acres. The Beatachs were held in great estimation, and their memory is still preserved in a few place names. The Ordnance Survey letters claim that this was a part of the boiler base of 400.
And we're roughly halfway in the townland of Knockatonnel. Knockatonnel, the locals call it. Knockatonnel in the maps, and Knockatana are local pronunciations.
Yeah.
But most of the people who lived here for any length of time call it Knockatonnel.
Yeah.
There's the L at the end of it.
That is. Situated on the left side of the road here.
On the left of the road. Now the houses that you can see in the distance there would be across the mall in Castleconner parish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Moy is in the dip down there.
We were also unable to locate the hill that would give this place its name. We think it may be on the right hand side of the road there in Ruvian somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
As far as I can make out now, the whole thing is a bit of a puzzle, because even in the time of the Ordnance Survey letters, he was trying to figure it out, and he wasn't certain that he had solved it.
Yeah. No.